What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for my first ever live Q&A video. That's right. Last Wednesday, I believe it was, I released a video saying I got to my 500 subscribers. Again, thank you all for the support. I've been on fire lately with subscribers due to the success of my recent video game Let's Plays and my recent WWE match card videos as well. So I'm off to a pretty good I'm on a pretty good roll right now. And again, I want to thank you all for your support. As I always say, this channel is just more so just to have fun, a personal benefit of mine, just that one little world I can go to where I can just, do whatever I want, have fun, reach out to people, engage with people. But, I'm trying to set goals. I see where what I can do. If I don't get to them, that's fine. But my 500 subscribers was a goal for this year, and it only took me until April to get to that, from 370 to 500. So again, thank you all. And I actually wrote out all the questions that I've been asked. Thank you all who left your questions. They were all appropriate, all under the guidelines that I asked for. So nobody made the list. No questions got deleted. So I wasn't first going to just mix them all up, because some people asked more than others, but then I just had a really busy week, and I only had time to be able to write out my answers to the questions of what I would say for them. So I'm just going to go in order of each person's set of questions. So I believe I got, let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, going down, 5, 6. 6 of my good loyal subscribers here on YouTube asked me questions, all about 3, 5, 6. One actually asked me 10 questions, which, I didn't really set a limit on it, so I'm not going to really, trash on anybody or anything like that, but it's completely fine. I'm willing to answer all the questions. So let's get started. My first 3 questions comes from Daniel Geiza. Dan, thank you for submitting your questions. His first question is, what matches would you like to see happen at WrestleMania 34? Now, originally, I was trying to, predict a card for WrestleMania 34. It's still a little early, I'll be honest. It's kind of tough, but I've tried to put out some dream matches. I didn't put out any matches for the title yet. Well, one, obviously. So matches I would like to see happen at WrestleMania 34. Match I think should be saved at least. Some of these could be SummerSlam worthy as well. AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I think that should wait till WrestleMania 34. Give Shinsuke some more time to build up. Plus also AJ Styles just turned face recently. So I'd say give it time till 34. Maybe they'll pull off what they did with AJ and have Shinsuke maybe turn heel eventually before WrestleMania, to help maybe improve some of his mic skills, which, him on Shinsuke on the mic is not too bad, but you never know. It could, take to the next level like it did for whenever AJ Styles. So they might AJ Styles Shinsuke, but we'll see what happens. But that's a match I think should be saved till WrestleMania 34. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. It's most likely not going to happen at SummerSlam, since Brock Lesnar is Universal Champion. I'm hoping they'll do Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Either way, it's going to happen at one of the big pay-per-views this year or the next year. So I would say I'd rather have Roman and Brock fight at SummerSlam. Just do it then. WrestleMania, have Brock face Samoa Joe. Now, I really couldn't think of it first for just a singles match for each of the 3 members of the Shield. The match I wanted to see all of them have is a match against Triple H for sure, even though the only one that really, Dean Ambrose's match at Roadblock last March was pretty good. Seth Rollins' match against Triple H in the non-sanctioned match this year at WrestleMania 33 was pretty good. Could have been a little bit better, but I think what we got was pretty solid. But of course, Roman and Triple H, let's not go down that path. So I wasn't sure who else I could really think of off the top of my head. I want to see AJ Styles face Seth Rollins. You haven't seen that match happen yet, but they're both on separate brands. I think not this year. Maybe at WrestleMania 35 we'll see that one. But for the Shield members, I actually have this, even though I think this could be a long shot, because I really think Dean Ambrose is going to turn heel before next WrestleMania. I mean, if any of the Shield members are probably going to turn heel next, it's most likely going to be Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins just turned babyface. They're probably going to never turn Roman Reigns heel, even though that's what's best for business. They can't really, they're not really going to give in anytime soon, and turn Roman heel, even though it's going to be a great idea, but that's not going to be the case. So because of that, I will say, even though this might be a long shot, since I think Dean Ambrose will turn heel before WrestleMania 34. I think WrestleMania 34, the best match I can think of for those three members would be the Shield versus the newly formed Balor Club. That match is going to happen sometime, whether it's AJ Styles team up with the club or Finn Balor versus team up with the club. But as of now, I can, with all 6 of those members on Raw, it's most likely going to be the Balor Club. And I'm just checking out the live chat. There is a question in the live chat, but I will get to that at the end of this video. I will do any live chat questions at the end of this video. So don't worry, I will answer your questions if you leave them in the live chat. What are the matches? A match that I know these two guys have fought a lot, but these guys can fight forever. They're going to fight all the time. They're going to follow each other going back and forth. I would say a match for WrestleMania 34 I'd like to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, whether it's at WrestleMania 34 anywhere else. But if it's for WrestleMania 34, I would say do that one match I thought that we got last at SummerSlam. I still can't believe they didn't do it. I really thought they were going to, since they put both Kevin and Sami on Raw after the draft last summer. But I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are due for a big stipulation match. They have not really had a big stipulation match yet in their career. There's a bunch of singles matches, which have been good, but they need a match with big stipulation on it. And I still think they need to do an I Quit match. And if they do that at WrestleMania 34, whether it's for the title or not, that would be awesome. Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman. These are two guys that I want to see go at it. At the Survivor Series Go Home show, Bray Wyatt said, "Braun Strowman, you abandoned me, blah, blah, blah." That stuff. Now they're both on Raw. Let's see Bray hopefully turn face over the next year, and him and Strowman, which hopefully Strowman will win this Sunday against Roman Reigns at Payback. They don't have a stipulation yet for that match. I am hoping it's going to end up being either an ambulance match, which is my first pick, or a stretcher match. One of those two need to happen. This cannot be just a singles feud. Not a singles feud, just a singles match. So continue to make Braun look dominant. I'm still not too pleased with Bray Wyatt being on Raw, but I'm hoping that maybe they'll prove me wrong and do something good with Bray. Hopefully he'll have a good House of Horrors match against Randy Orton this Sunday at Payback. Now, I only put one women's match for matches I'd like to see happen at WrestleMania 34 because honestly, if the rosters stay the same at WrestleMania 34 as they are now, I can't really see too many big dream matches in the Raw Women's division right now. I feel like the Raw Women's Championship will probably be some sort of stipulation, like maybe like another Fatal 4-Way or a Triple Threat, even though I would much rather see a big singles match. Because, we haven't really seen a good singles match, just one-on-one in a while. The Triple Threat WrestleMania 32 was great. Even the women's wrestling matches at WrestleMania 33, they were all right, not excellent, but what I saw were acceptable in my opinion. So the only women's match I'm predicting so far for WrestleMania 34, and this is why this person needs to go to SmackDown. They'll most likely be up from NXT at the end of the year or at the beginning of next year. And that's why this SmackDown Women's Championship match I'm going to predict for WrestleMania 34, Charlotte versus Asuka. These two, I believe have never gone at it before. Asuka's had a feud with Bayley, unless they put her on Raw and have her feud with Sasha Banks. But I really feel that they're really starting to definitely go more into a heel direction with Asuka, even though it would probably make sense. Well, it does look like they are leaning towards turning Charlotte face. I mean, I know it's on my top 10 topics. I'd be a little interested, but I'm still thinking about it. It might not be the best idea. I think Charlotte works a lot better as a heel, but again, it's SmackDown. I'm willing to give it a chance. Let's see what happens. It could be just, Charlotte, just like Asuka saying you want to step up and challenge Charlotte for a title, and Charlotte saying like, well, you stepped to the big leagues now, you got to go through the Queen or something like that. We'll see what happens. And a tag team match, I read again, SmackDown's tag team division needs to build up. Raw's tag team division is a lot interesting, but this is a little bit of a long shot as well. But this match could happen at WrestleMania 34. What do you think of this match, guys? The Hardy Boys versus the Authors of Pain. Do you think the Authors of Pain will be up on the main roster by WrestleMania next year? It's highly possible. I mean, I could see them maybe dropping the tag titles to Heavy Machinery. Probably will be the next team to have them beat for the tag titles in NXT. It would either happen at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn or to give them more time to build up for Heavy Machinery. I'd say at NXT TakeOver Houston Survivor Series weekend. Unless they have another takeover somewhere there, we're having TakeOver Chicago in a few weeks on May 20th. But I think there's a chance it could be up. The problem is right now there's not really too many developed tag teams down in NXT right now besides DIY. I mean, Revival's moved on. They teased a few other teams here and there, but I think Authors of Pain are probably going to be tag team champions until like the end of this year, honestly. And I could possibly see them, being around for WrestleMania. So I'll predict that match. So that's Dan's first question. His second question was, do you think The Undertaker headlines the WWE Hall of Fame class 2018, and who would induct him? Absolutely. If for some reason they don't want to have him headline the class, be in the Hall of Fame in 2018, definitely whenever he gets there, he's headlining that class. You cannot have someone higher in a Hall of Fame class than The Undertaker. He is going to definitely Hall of Fame next year. If not, then whenever he gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. But probably within the next year or two, I'd say. But who would induct him? I was stuck at first. I was more leaning towards HBK because of their rivalry. He's the only person I thought that would be good to induct him, maybe Triple H. But then I thought of this. What if both of them induct him? Reunite the end of an era moment at the Hall of Fame ceremony. I think that would be awesome. What do you guys think of that? Anybody in the live chat say anything yet? Nope, not yet about the Hall of Fame ceremony. About that thought, of course. But if you think that both HBK and Triple H should induct Undertaker to the Hall of Fame, whether it's next year or whenever, what do you think of that? The reuniting of an end of an era from WrestleMania 28. An iconic moment. Have it happen there. That should be awesome. And Dan's third question is what do you think, who do you think is the next big breakout star in NXT? Absolutely, no doubt about it, Aleister Black. You already got me invested in him at NXT TakeOver Orlando. I think this guy is going to be the next top star in NXT. Hideo Itami could very well dethrone Bobby Roode of the title, but I think it might be a little too soon for Bobby Roode to dethrone the title. I think Bobby Roode's going to probably stay in NXT until, again, probably the same time as Asuka, the end of the year this year, and probably by Royal Rumble, we'll see Bobby Roode up on the main roster. But I think Aleister Black is going to be the next big name at NXT, no doubt about it. You got me really invested in him at NXT TakeOver Orlando. Kudos to you, Triple H, again, for being the creator that you are. So my next big breakout star for NXT will be Aleister Black. So those were 3 questions from Daniel Gaiza. Thank you again, Dan, for your questions. The next 3 questions come from Artsy Exercise. Thank you for your questions. You are awesome as always. Question number 1. These are like some non-related wrestling questions, which they're pretty interesting to think about, of course. Question number 1 is, if you had to eat one thing for the rest of my life, if I had to eat one thing the rest of my life, what would it be? Lately, the biggest thing I have been hooked on food-wise is chicken wings. And especially the one kind I like the most is honey barbecue. So if I could eat honey barbecue chicken wings for the rest of my life, even though it probably wouldn't be the healthiest diet in the world. Eating just one thing is not really good for you, but I would probably have to say honey barbecue chicken wings. That would probably be the one thing. If I could eat that food forever, I would. I could never get old of eating wings. I've gotten really hooked on them, especially from after I got hooked on Buffalo Wild Wings, and my two kinds I get there is a honey barbecue chicken wings and Parmesan garlic wings. So I would say that's probably what I could eat for the rest of my life is honey barbecue chicken wings. Who is one person you really admire? I couldn't really think of one person specifically I could say that I really admire. I mean, obviously, I admire like the success of my friends, my family, the ones, my close loved ones, of course, as always. So I actually more so answer this question as like traits I really admire a person. I really admire humbleness in someone, hardworking, and of course, the big thing about me is respect. I'm very big on respect. Those are probably three traits I admire in someone: is humbleness, hardworking, and respect. And question number 3 from RT Exercise was, if you could have one superpower, what would it be? I'd say maybe invisibility. There's always sometimes you just want to sneak around, but you're afraid of people like catching you for things here and there. Especially me, being a videographer, and sometimes, I don't tend to be like the creepy person trying to sneak shots of like people, but the times you go out there, you want to get shots like the city, and you see people just like see you, and then like, oh no, what the heck? Or as a videographer, a big pet peeve is using a DSLR camera and people think you're taking photos. Now, I mean, I try not to snap on people for that or anything like that, but I mean, again, I wouldn't snap my way, but it's just kind of while it's like, okay, come on, really? I'm a videographer. I'm here taking a video. Obviously, I'm not taking photos, but I'd say that's the way to make me feel a little more comfortable sometimes whenever I'm shooting. I'd say invisibility. I would like to have invisibility. So thank you, RC Exercise. Again, you are awesome as always. I'll show the live chat, see if we have any questions so far in the live chat or anything. We do have one. I'll answer that one right now. Josh Steven, thank you for leaving your question. Who is your favorite superstar? Of all time, Daniel Bryan. No doubt about it. Daniel Bryan. I mean, again, I've only been watching WWE full time since 2013. And Daniel Bryan's story getting to the top was what really got me connected into watch WWE. I mean, my friends, I watched it with my friends, but what really got me hooked into watching it full time is definitely Daniel Bryan. And again, having him lose his title at SummerSlam, because Daniel Bryan was a character. His character when he was a in-ring wrestler was exactly what I've been. Not really the brightest, not the most talented up there. And then he had to work his way from the bottom, get ways up to the top. He did whatever he could to achieve his goal. And that's how I am too. So I at times saw myself in Daniel Bryan. So thank you, Josh Stevenson. Thank you, Josh Steven, for your question in the live chat. Moving on now to the other questions I had. Next 3 questions comes from BSP Wrestling, my friend Gene. Thank you very much, Gene, for your questions. His first question was, who do you see as being the next mid-card talent to get a huge push? Now, when I saw this question, the first thing I thought about was like, who is somebody I would consider mid-card? Because there's a lot of guys on the main roster, I think, who at times could fill the void at both and fill the hole as both a mid-card talent and a main event talent. And I thought about it and I'm thinking, I really couldn't think. I mean, Ty Dillinger just came up. I mean, I'm hoping he'll get a push, but I didn't want to go with him quite yet. I mean, Baron Corbin, I think possibly, but I feel like they're going to start leaning him more towards the main event scene, even though I think he should have won an Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 33, but he didn't. Dean Ambrose is kind of more treated like a mid-card right now, but I think that, he can go either way in between. So this one was a little tough to answer. So I thought of someone who, like, is a little low on the end right now, but I think is the closest of probably getting pushed to the to a mid-card level. More so because even though he's been more treated like a jobber, I'd say he's probably, of any of the guys who are on the jobbers, he's probably closest to starting to get a little bit more of a push. And I'm hoping it's Apollo Crews. I mean, I thought maybe, Curtis Axel or Bo Dallas, but they've been around long enough that I don't see them getting a push anytime soon. I would love to see that happen. It'll go to the SmackDown Live. I mean, Jinder Mahal, I'm still not the hugest fan of Jinder Mahal, but I'm giving his WWE Championship opportunity push a chance. So I didn't go with him, but I'm going with Apollo Crews. He moved them over the Raw. Most of the matches, though, I've seen Apollo Crews take part in. Most of them, though, I remember seeing he's won. He hasn't been a big loser, but he hasn't had a direction. He's got the talent. He doesn't have much of a character. And they've been teasing a teaming between him and Titus O'Neil the past couple weeks on Raw. Even though I've said before, I'm not the hugest fan of Titus O'Neil as a heel. I think he worked a lot better as a babyface. I think this teaming up with Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil, I want to give it a chance if it happens. Because if they turn Apollo Crews heel and if they give him a character, I'll take it. Because again, this guy's got all the talent. I still think he was brought from NXT way too soon. He didn't even get a title shot at NXT for the NXT Championship. So I thought he should have at least had that before coming up onto the main roster. That would have helped him develop a character. But they brought him up too soon, and he has had some good matches. He's won matches. He's not lost all of his matches. But it's just they just really haven't given him a direction yet. And I feel like with this Titus brand thing, I'll give it a chance to see what happens. So if I could pick one person as the next mid-card talent to get a huge push, for now, Apollo Crews. Hopefully one day a WWE champion or Universal champion, but I'm going to pick Apollo Crews that answer. Gene's second question was, can you see John Cena becoming a 17-time world champion when he comes back? I was 50-50 about Cena becoming a champion again, not because, he's John Cena. I mean, again, I've never been a huge John Cena fan, but I've never been a huge John Cena hater either. I respect John. And honestly, I have liked him more ever since the brand split. That's one thing I definitely enjoyed. And, I was okay with Cena winning the title off of AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble, even though hearing the original plans for WrestleMania kind of made me kind of wish at times he didn't. But again, I was okay with, I liked the match him and AJ had at the Royal Rumble, but originally, apparently, if you haven't heard yet, the original plans for WrestleMania was for Cena to face The Undertaker. But then this whole thing with Cena and Nikki getting proposed came into the plan, and that changed things up. And a lot of matches got changed because of that. And so it looked like, it seemed like it was one of those, I'll owe you one. They gave Cena a 2-week title reign. Now, here's the thing. I mean, okay, I would have been okay with just a 2-week title reign, even though it ended up like kind of flattening the Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton feud and making Bray Wyatt's first championship run look a little silly. It looked good the first week, but then after that triple threat match against I should say after the triple threat match against Cena and Styles on the first SmackDown after the Elimination Chamber, I'd say after Orton burned down Wyatt's house, the Wyatt family compound, and turned face, that's when I think this feud kind of went downhill. But since that title reign, that 2-week title reign between the Rumble and Elimination Chamber was his 16th title win to tie Ric Flair, I just honestly felt that they didn't make that title reign feel special. That should have been if they were going to make this his 16th title reign, they should have made it special somehow. So I would say if you want to give him a 17th title reign, depending on his schedule, if they can make it worthwhile, I'll say yes. But if they're not going to make that title reign feel special, I'd say no. So do it whenever Cena has the time. They can give him maybe a couple months of the title. Have him make that 17th title reign feel important, memorable. People are going to remember, oh yeah, I loved Cena's 17th title reign when he broke Ric Flair's record. Even if it's as a babyface, as long as he's under the same writing that he's been under on SmackDown Live, I'll take it. But again, if they can make it worthwhile. That's the only gripe I have to say about Cena being a champion again. Question number 3. Do you think the brand split benefited Raw or SmackDown Live more? Absolutely SmackDown Live more. I mean, I know the shows haven't been as good since the Superstar shakeup. My theory is, though, is give it a few more weeks. You know, the same thing kind of happened when the brand split first happened. This is going to be an opportunity to help build new stars. I know some random people like, Breezango, who like out of nowhere, they were losing constantly, are getting a SmackDown tag title shot. Same with Jinder Mahal. Let's just see what happens. Are they going to try to build new stars? It's fresh. A lot of people who weren't winning matches, got moved around a little bit. Again, let's see what happens. They could probably build something out of them. Like, Baron Corbin. I mean, he was kind of the same boat as Apollo Crews was before he went to SmackDown, before the brand split. I mean, he was winning matches, but they weren't doing much with him. And now he's on SmackDown Live, and he's done very well. I still think he needs to win Money in the Bank, though, because I have been a little worried ever since he didn't win the Intercontinental title off of Dean Ambrose before the Superstar shakeup. Who else? I mean, The Miz, he had a good run on SmackDown. I mean, they have made me a little more invested in stars on SmackDown Live. And plus, also, the big thing also, they made SmackDown Live turn from SmackDown to SmackDown Live. They've made it a better show. They made it not that recap show that it was before the brand split. They made it worthwhile watching SmackDown. I'd say if they would someday drop the brand split again, just drop either Raw or SmackDown. Drop one of the shows, because it's not going to be worth having both shows if they're both going to be the same thing each week, because no one's going to want to watch both shows. So I would say definitely SmackDown Live benefited most from the brand split. So thank you, Gene, for your questions. Now, the next 10 questions, which are a mix of wrestling and non-wrestling questions, come from Robbie One Kenobi. Thank you again, Robbie, for your questions. The first question is, what is your favorite underrated wrestling game? The problem is I haven't played too many. For those of you who don't really know, I think the problem with me was I didn't really grow up owning my own, other gaming console besides, a Game Boy Advance or just a regular PC. I actually did not buy my first gaming console until my freshman year of high school. And I only got a PS2 only because I wanted Rock Band. That's literally the only reason why. I mean, I know it's strange, but I think I was just too attached to, stuff I grew up with. I didn't branch out to, some of the newer technologies right away. So because of that, I don't really own any WWE games. Really, I haven't tried WWE Champions yet. I did try WWE Supercard on my phone for a while, but then I stopped playing it. And then when I got my new phone, I didn't get it. I didn't have as much gigabytes on it as at my old phone, so I had to remove some apps, and that's one app that didn't make the cut. For now, I could add it back in. You never know. But the two games I have also played besides on the phone or Game Boy Advance. I remember when I was younger, I did play. I forgot what the game was called. A game with WWE Superstars. I remember wrestling as John Cena, and I remember wrestling as Shawn Michaels on a GameCube console years ago with some of my cousins. And also, I have tried playing WWE 2K17 at my friend Daniel Guys' house as well. So, I'd say so far, even though I was still learning, I'd say so far one I liked was 2K17, but I haven't played too many yet of those yet. I don't really own any, but I would say 2K17 answered that question. Question number 2 from Robbie was, who do you think will be NXT's next big signing before the end of the year? I don't really watch too much wrestling outside of WWE or NXT, but I think the one person I've heard a lot of hype about that I think, and I saw him actually wrestle at a Ring of Honor event live just a couple months ago, Adam Cole. Adam Cole, I would pick to be NXT's next biggest signing. I know a lot of people want him to come, expand out the Bullet Club more, make it interesting, kind of how it is with Ring of Honor. I haven't watched much Ring of Honor, but times I've seen it's there's all these members of the Bullet Club all over the place, here and there. Have it be this big faction that's trying to eventually take over WWE. Have it be the nexus that should have happened that just didn't go through. And have it go through this time. Question number 3. If you could spend the day with a women's wrestler, one from each brand, who would it be and what would you do? In a friendly way, because again, I'm not a single man. But if I could hang out with any women's wrestler on any brand, Raw, no doubt about it, Bayley. I mean, some of the others, sure, but who wouldn't want to meet Bayley? She's that person you can come up, walk to, have a nice conversation with. I'd say, just meet up, eat food, discuss wrestling with Bayley. That was what I say for Raw. Now, for SmackDown Live, originally I had Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch is probably my favorite wrestler on SmackDown Live right now. But then I couldn't really think of one for NXT. So then I actually thought of a genius idea. For SmackDown Live, again, Becky Lynch would be my number one choice. But to answer this question to fill both SmackDown Live and NXT, SmackDown Live, I'd say Carmella. NXT, Liv Morgan, because on SmackDown Live, you have Carmella, who in real life is dating Big Cass. NXT, Liv Morgan in real life is dating Enzo. We all have our girls. I'll go on a triple date with Enzo and Big Cass. How you doing? We are the realest couples in the room. I'd say maybe we'll go, even though I do not like that chicken wing commercial that Enzo and Cass take part in. But I think we'll go, get some wings somewhere maybe. Maybe I will end up going to to what's it called? Universal Studios. Maybe I'll win that free to Universal Studios. But again, I'd say I would be a dream triple date for me to go on a triple date with Enzo and Big Cass, with my girlfriend, Carmella, and Liv Morgan. All 6 of us, I think it would be a blast. So, again, if I was just friends with any of these women, I'd say Rob, again, Bayley, SmackDown Live. Again, my number one choice would be Becky Lynch, but I'll go with Carmella. That way, and bring on Liv Morgan from NXT, go on a triple date with Enzo and Big Cass. How you doing? Eat some chicken wings. And I'll eat some honey barbecue wings and French fries. How you doing? Drinks. How you doing? Universal Studios. How you doing? Just what I would do. So yeah, that was a fun question to answer. Question number 4. What was the last great movie you saw in theaters recently? I will be real with you guys. I actually, with how busy I have been since the start of 2017 with my job and such, I have not actually been to the movies since last December, like the end of 2016. And I believe the last movie I saw was Office Christmas Party, which I thought was a pretty fun movie. I mean, it seemed a little stupid at times, but I thought it was a pretty funny movie. So that was the last movie I saw in theaters, Office Christmas Party. Question number 5. Which film are you more excited for this summer? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 or Spider-Man Homecoming? Robbie, or anybody who's watching this and owns a replica of the List of Jericho, I ask, please do not put me on the list for saying this. I have never seen any of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. If anybody wants to take me out and I'm the type of guy where it's weird. I have a degree in video production, but I'm not really that invested in movie series. I'm more invested in comedies like sitcoms and such. But if anybody wants to go out to the movies, I'll go to the movies and watch them. But I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd probably check them out. I wouldn't mind checking it out. But I would definitely pick Spider-Man Homecoming, more so because I've actually seen all the regular Spider-Mans and the Amazing Spider-Man series, even though I like Tobey Maguire better as Spider-Man than Andrew Garfield. So I would say, since I have had more of an interest in Spider-Man, I'd say probably Spider-Man Homecoming. But I would definitely check out Guardians of the Galaxy as well. But I haven't seen the first ones yet, so I haven't seen any. So again, don't put me on the list. I'm sorry. I know I have not seen. I'm not the biggest movie guy, but again, I will go to the movies and watch movies whenever people want to go watch movies. Number 6. Who are 5 of your favorite wrestlers you hope to meet by the end of the year. By the end of the year, I honestly really would hope. Hold on, I need to answer this text really quick. All right, sorry about that. I didn't answer that quick text because it was kind of important. So, I mean, if I can meet all 5 of these wrestlers, well, technically 6 is one's a tag team by the end of the year, that'd be awesome. But I highly doubt that's going to happen on me all 5 of these, because where am I going to really go to meet them, you know? But the top 5 wrestlers I would like to meet. Number 5, again, don't hate on me. Even though he's booked like crap, I want to like him because I love him I think he has a great wrestling style. Roman Reigns. Like, I wouldn't mind meeting Roman Reigns. I would want to meet all 3 members of the Shield. So of course, number 5 would definitely be Roman Reigns, because I mean, again, I know he's booked like crap. I mean, I don't always root for him, but you know, I still like watching him wrestle. He's a great wrestler. People who say like him and John Cena, like even though like they're like, you know, the guys, well, the poster boy and the guy, if you want to say that way. You know, I still think they both are good wrestlers to watch wrestle. They're not boring wrestling, but character-wise, Roman Reigns, we all know, I'm not going to go into that rant. Number 4, again, even though he's kind of getting a little flat as a babyface, I think he should turn heel sometime soon. Dean Ambrose, again, I would like to meet all 3 members of the Shield, but I have them all ordered how I want to meet them. Number 3, Enzo Big Cass. If I do that triple date, how you doing? But either way, I would love to meet Enzo and Big Cass. They'd be 2 cool guys to meet. Number 2, Finn Balor. I would be definitely, you know, I was a huge fan of Finn Balor on NXT. I'm glad he just recently came back from a shoulder injury. It's weird now because like I feel like he's stuck in this position where he can't really challenge for the Universal Championship yet because Brock Lesnar has. He's barely going to be showing up. I can probably see Brock Lesnar's first defense happening at the. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention this as well in this video. What do you guys think of the replacement name for Bad Blood? It was supposed to be Bad Blood in July for Raw, but now it's called WWE Great Balls of Fire. Last night I went out. I had a video gig. I came back to a text from Daniel Gaiza, and he says WWE Great Balls of Fire. I'm like, what the heck is that? He's like, I'm ashamed to say the name. I'm like, what is that? And he said that they replaced Bad Blood with Great Balls of Fire. If it's true, WWE claimed they changed it because they thought Bad Blood sounds a little too intense for a PG era. People can still take Great Balls of Fire the wrong way. There are immature people in the world these days. I'm sorry, but it's just my opinion. I don't like the name. But anyways, getting back on track. I still would like to meet Finn Balor, though. Again, I'm a huge fan of him at NXT. He seems like a cool guy to talk with. I'll meet Finn Balor. Right now, my number 1 pick to meet someone, any WWE superstar, my number 1 pick would have to be Seth Rollins. Again, I want to meet all 3 members of the Shield, but especially in the past year, I've really got invested in this babyface Seth Rollins character. You know, I think they've really made his transition from a heel to a babyface work. Because at first, when people are saying, "Oh, we need to turn Seth Rollins babyface," before his injury, I'm thinking, how the heck are they going to do that? Like, right now, Seth Rollins is just. He felt like he was just too much in that hole of being a heel. He wasn't, venturing out of it yet. Really, it wouldn't have made sense at first. But the way they did it, they built it up, and his second knee injury made it feel real. And I can relate to Seth Rollins, because if I could beat Seth Rollins, the thing I want to tell him is that he has definitely been an inspiration for me the past year or so. As I said in the video I made back in January when Rollins first injured his knee again and his status for WrestleMania 33 at first was up in jeopardy. As I said then, I suffered a minor knee injury myself last summer. It ended up being a hyperextension. I thought at first I might have tore my ACL because I heard it at a trampoline park. But it ended up being just a hyperextension. Not that severe, of course, compared to what Rollins had. But to me, it was probably one of the worst injuries I've ever had because I never really suffered more than just putting a Band-Aid on a cut or something like that at the time. Knock on wood. I knocked on a wooden table, so it is legit wood. But I would definitely tell Seth, because I watched how he overcame two knee injuries, and he was able to work out and come back from all. Like anytime I've started working out more since I hurt my knee, that way I can get it back into shape how it was and be able to do. I never really was that big into the best talent in sports, but I like still playing sports, especially baseball. Like I'll pick up basketball here and there, but I definitely watch his W24 special a lot whenever I work out, because he's my motivation. So I want to say thank you for being my motivation, inspiration. To even though my injury wasn't as severe as yours, it was still severe compared to my standards, because I never suffered an injury before. Whereas it's still gets bothered at times. So I think my number one pick right now for which wrestler I like to meet would have to be Seth Rollins. Question number 7. What are some of your favorite shows outside of pro wrestling? As you all know, of course, seeing some of my fantasy baseball videos, the biggest sport I'm definitely into besides the WWE. WWE is more of just a staged story, which is nothing wrong with that. Major League Baseball. I'm a huge baseball fan. I've been watching baseball for about 13 years now, since 2004, I believe. I've been watching baseball full time. But other than that, again, it's weird. I don't really watch too much TV besides sports, but I'm big into sitcoms. So my two favorite sitcoms have to be Seinfeld and The Big Bang Theory. So those are my favorite shows outside of pro wrestling. I'll watch anything. Again, when it comes to TV, I'll watch anything with anybody, but those are my favorite ones. I'll go hey, I want to sit down and watch this show. Anything else, I'll be okay, I'll watch it, sure. Do you plan to buy AJ Lee's new autobiography or the new NXT book? Honestly, I'd buy both. I definitely enjoy, reading biographies of, wrestlers in their real life, hearing some of their stories, hearing stuff they've overcome. If you haven't yet, I actually just finished a couple weeks ago reading Daniel Bryan's biography of the my improbable journey to the main event of WrestleMania. Again, a very good book. Learned a lot of interesting things about Daniel Bryan. AJ Lee, she was starting to wind down. Her career starting to wind down whenever I first started really getting into WWE. But she was definitely one of my favorite women's wrestlers when I first started watching. And NXT, NXT has this story because it went from that reality show that just really stunk. Hi, DProX 3276. What's up? But I know NXT was once a reality show, and then FCW I heard wasn't really that great. But then today's NXT brand as well. Despite it being more on the it hasn't been as good since the brand split started, because a lot of talent got pulled up and they're in a rebuilding stage. But I think what we have is still decent, not as good as it used to be. But again, keep in mind, NXT is a developmental developmental. So it's meant to build stars. You're not always going to see A shows, even though it does put on really good shows, and some tough for the main roster to beat. So I would definitely be interested in checking out the new NXT book and AJ Lee's autobiography. I'll definitely take a look into those. Do you have a favorite wrestling T-shirt? Right now I own a few. I have Daniel Bryan's Yes T-shirt. That was the first WWE T-shirt I ever bought. I have a Dean Ambrose T-shirt, Roman Reigns, Bad News Barrett. I have 3 CM Punk shirts. So I would say my favorite wrestling T-shirt I have is one of the CM Punk shirts I have. It's CM Punk putting up the X. I should have actually wore it for this video. And also I got the You Just Made the List T-shirt. That's probably my second favorite one right now, the You Just Made the List T-shirt. But I think my favorite one overall is CM Punk doing the X. Really sick looking T-shirt. I should have wore it for this video. It said we're Batman, but oh well. But I think my favorite shirt that I don't have yet, I still want, would probably be Seth Rollins' Kingslayer shirt. I want either that one or the Seth freaking Rollins T-shirt. I think the best one, the number one shirt I want right now is a Seth Rollins T-shirt, probably the Kingslayer one. And number 10, the last question from Robbie was favorite music to listen to on a rainy day. I pretty much listen to any type of music pretty much. I'm not someone who more so, looks for albums for people, but I just groups of people who, like, I like several songs. Like, I'm more of a guy, like, if I hear a song on the radio I like, I'm like, cool, I want to listen to that song more often. I'm not really, again, I'm very different, but, it's just how I am. But I'd say, since my mood can be affected on the weather at times, I'd say the type of music I would listen to on a rainy day, somewhat more like calm and reflective. Not sad, but just calm and reflective. That's probably what I was on a rainy day. So Robbie left 10 questions. Thank you very much for those questions. Let's go to the live chat, see if we got any more questions. DProX3276 asks, what is your favorite WrestleMania? And also he says NXT has got a lot better, to be honest. Yeah, it has. I mean, again, it's more developmental. I mean, there's some, spots, like, I think the tag team division could use some more tag teams, because most of the tag teams, the best tag teams we've got on NXT right now, are up on the main roster. Right now, it's just DIY and the Revival. DIY and the Authors of Pain. Heavy Machinery is on its way there. They're probably the next big tag team. I mean, you got Sanity as well. Like, I got Sanity, but I think right now they're more of a faction. But I would honestly like to see Sanity fully take over NXT someday. Eric Young be the NXT champion, and Nikki Cross be the NXT Women's Champion. Have Alexander Wolf and Killian Dane be the NXT Tag Team Champions. Sanity will take over NXT someday, and that'll be awesome. But his question also is, what is your favorite WrestleMania? My favorite WrestleMania so far is definitely WrestleMania 30. Again, I've only been watching WWE since 2013. The first ever WrestleMania I watched, I've only watched the first WrestleMania I ever watched was WrestleMania 29. But WrestleMania 30 is my favorite one. Again, I started watching because Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan's rise to the top again. I started watching more so because I got invested in Daniel Bryan, just to see him finally overcome the Authority. All the odds stacked against that night, defeating Triple H and winning the title. That was one of the biggest reasons why I like WrestleMania 30. Robbie says, BSB Wrestling Show. We botch! LOL. Thank you, Robbie, for the comment. DProX3276 also says, I believe NXT needs more tag teams. Yes, that is true, as I said before. And by the way, what is your favorite match? If you're saying tag team match, I'd say so far my favorite tag team match in the NXT division was definitely that triple threat match at NXT TakeOver Orlando. That was just unreal. And also I liked about that is yes, I love Daniel Bryan too. Thank you for the comment as well. I really liked how that match really established the Authors of Pain. They had like, two teams teaming up against them, and one of them is a two-time NXT Tag Team Champions in the Revival, who has been one of my favorite heel tag teams so far because I think they perform great heel tactics. They keep things simple. No flips, just fists. And then just that whole match, there was times where you thought, oh, what if AOP does, get eliminated from this match? They threw everything at them, and they developed this team into the unstoppable team that they should be. And just all these near falls, like everything that they did to try to get AOP. They made AOP look like monsters. And so, yeah, I would definitely say that tag team match at NXT, triple threat elimination match at NXT TakeOver Orlando is definitely so far been my favorite tag team match I've watched. I will give also an honorable mention to the Hardy Boys returning at WrestleMania 33 in the Fatal 4-Way ladder match. That was cool because I finally got to see the Hardy Boys wrestle live and not just going back on the network and watching it. But that was nuts. And if you haven't seen mine and Daniel guys' reaction, please go check that video out on my channel as well. Live reaction to Hardy Boys returning. We went completely nuts. But yeah, I will take a break from the live chat for a second. Let's move on to back to the questions that were already left in the comments section. Mountain D18, my friend Mountain D18 on YouTube, who watches a lot of my video game videos, as well as he also has two more channels, as his more serious channel, Common Sense Gamer, and his collaboration channel, Common Sense Goofy. Thank you very much, and thank you again for your support as always. This first question was, what are your goals for your YouTube channel? As I've said, I'm on YouTube, just to have fun. It's just it's one little world I can go to do whatever the heck I want, and just, my baseball videos, my wrestling videos, any, collaborations I do with my Horseman brothers, as we call ourselves, the four horsemen of the YWC, Robbie-Wan Kenobi, BSP Wrestling, and Daniel Gaiza. I also use it to, because pretty much, besides, YouTube, like in real life, I said before, I am a videographer. And I mean, I'm limited on the tools I have right now from what I had when I was in college, like, using a couple softwares. I don't have really the best high-tech equipment yet, but it helps me to also play around with some stuff and be able to incorporate things in my professional career as well, making these videos. His second question was, do you think you'll ever become famous or well known on YouTube? Again, I don't want to make YouTube a business for me right now, because I feel like that if I did, I would feel pressured to get to all these goals. And if I just keep it loose, just just having fun, meeting people, doing whatever the heck I want to do. I mean, again, set my goals, but I'm not gonna be upset if I don't reach them. Like, if I didn't get to 500 subscribers, I'd be all right, because I still am happy with the content I put up on YouTube. So if I do, cool. If not, I still won't let it affect my YouTube experience, because I really have enjoyed what I have done on YouTube, and again, continue to meet new people. His third question was, will you consider doing any Doom Let's Plays on your channel in the future? I will be honest, I have never played a Doom version yet of any Wolfenstein mods or anything like that, but I have seen some Let's Plays on both your channel, Mountain D18, and your Common Sense Gamer channel, and a few other channels as well. So I would say maybe not yet, because there are a lot of, again, as I said earlier, I'm a little too attached still to some the old style games, the old games I used to play, and a lot of those are definitely the old Wolfenstein graphic stuff. I branched out here. I played Castle Totenkopf before. I only played one time. I haven't played in a while. I played Coming of the Storm, a couple other ones that had different graphics to them, and I liked it. So I mean, I think in the future, it depends on my what's going on in my life right at the time. I would consider maybe trying to play some Doom Let's Plays and give it a try. So yes. Number 4, he asks, what are your goals in life overall? Like I said, right now, I've only been out of college for about a year. I am a videographer working for a wedding company. I'm also starting to do some advertisement videos there as well. So my goal is to become a successful videographer and, of course, video editor, because that's my favorite part of my field is editing. I want to get married. I want to have a family. I just want to stay close with the people who mean the most to me. My family, my friends, my YouTube subscribers as well. So yeah, a lot of positives there. Number 5, will you consider doing any live streams on YouTube? I have never done, I've only started doing live streams recently. I only started them whenever I was going to be doing a couple live streams with my Horseman brothers. But the only reason why I didn't start doing live streams at first is because since, I like editing and stuff in real life, I want to still use my intros and such. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are more advanced softwares that I don't have right now where I can use that stuff for live streams. But I mean, maybe I'll figure out how to live stream video games eventually as well. But I still need to play around with it more. But I would definitely in the future, if I can figure out the technology and equipment, I wouldn't mind expanding on them doing more live streams on YouTube. So yes, definitely. I would definitely in the future like to do more live streams. And Mountain D18's last question, number 6, was, what kind of music do you like, and do you listen to any underground music? I believe I do not listen to underground music. I said music at the moment. I mean, I will definitely check it out though, for a chance. But what kind of music do I listen to? As I said before, I'll listen to anything. Again, I'm not the type of person who picks out a favorite artist really and just tries to listen to their song. I'm more of a guy if I'm listening to somewhere on the radio, or since I work weddings, if I hear a good song at a wedding reception, I'm like, it's a good song. And sometimes if I even end up using it for the highlight montages and stuff, that's pretty much how I am with how the music goes. But I'll listen to anything pretty much. And again, I don't listen to much underground music, but I'll take a look into that as well, definitely. So thank you, Mountain D18, for your questions. I will go to the live chats again. DProX3276 said, I went crazy when the Hardy Boys returned. I went effing nuts. Yes, we all did, of course. Robbie One Kenobi. Hey, Robbie, what's up? Again, says, hey, Mike, if I wanted to add a horsewoman to our team, who would you prefer? Alexa Bliss, Ember Moon, Liv Morgan, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, or Lana? Ooh, that's a really tough one. Who would really blend in with us? That's a really good question. I don't know why I'm going to lean towards Sasha Banks on this one. As to why, I don't know. I just feel like Sasha Banks' attitude, I think, would probably fit in best right now. I'll go with Sasha Banks right now. If I think of a better reason why, I'll explain by the end of this video, but I'm just more leaning towards Sasha Banks right now. I think she would fit in with us the best. I mean, Bayley, of course, Amy talked to Bayley, but just for something different, I'd say probably Sasha Banks. DProX3276 says, my favorite match, not including NXT, was definitely AJ versus Cena SummerSlam 2016. Yes, that was my match of the year last year, no doubt about it. And his favorite wrestler, he said his is Seth Rollins. And yes, Robbie, because she's a legit boss. Believe that. Yes. Okay. Yes. Good. Let's just say it that way. I think Sasha Banks is a complete boss, and she would probably fit in with us the best. So yes. Deep Pro X3276 says his favorite wrestler is Seth Rollins again. Probably yeah, Seth Rollins might be probably one of my top favorite wrestlers right now. But actually, I didn't mention them earlier in my list of the top 5 people I would want to meet. Wrestlers. I didn't put AJ Styles or Daniel Bryan because I've already met those two, and it's like those are like 2 of like the top ones I want to meet. Like Daniel Bryan, like that was on my bucket list. Again, I had all the odds against myself going to meet Daniel Bryan because it was really snowy that day. The roads were getting bad. I didn't think we would make it down, and I was worried. And again, it was 2 weeks before he retired, and rumors have it that, I mean, he didn't say it like, it was before a signing, but the Thursday, 2 weeks before his retirement, which was the day before I met Daniel Bryan, was the day that Daniel found out that he had to retire, I believe. It's when he got those tests back that had that one thing in his brain that causes seizures. So yes, that was unreal that I got to meet him a few weeks before. Like it felt like all the odds stacked against me. Like had I not been able to go down that day, I mean, maybe he could do some signings as a GM, but I think that, and also AJ Styles was at the same event I met Daniel Bryan at World Wheels Convention. I met him this past January as well. Again, I have videos of my experience for both of them. Check those out as well. So again, I've reached the highest of highs, but I'd say also my favorite wrestler active right now would probably have to be AJ Styles. DProX3276 also says, I also think NXT need more women because I don't think Liv Morgan and others, apart from Ember and Asuka, but they need better women in my opinion. I mean, yeah, true, but again, as I said before, it's a developmental brand, so I mean, they're still new and still building and branching out. I lost my train of thought. I do like the duo with Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Liv Morgan, yeah, I think she could probably use a lot more time. There were rumors a couple months ago of her coming up to Raw, but no, way too soon for Liv Morgan to come up to Raw. So definitely not. He likes Seth Rollins more as a heel than a face. I mean, he was good as a heel. I think they made a good transition as a face, but again, I think he's proved he can make both heel and face work. Yes, it was great. I got to meet AJ, Daniel Bryan, and Robbie says well, probably Seth could be a great face. And again, like I said before, I think they did a good job transitioning Seth from a heel to a babyface. The only thing I'll take a break from the live chat, then we'll go into my last set of submitted questions. The only thing I did not like about Seth Rollins' babyface turn is how him and Roman Reigns started teaming up again, because it was just like, Seth saved Roman. They just had that stare down. It was like there should have been some type of story there. It just looked like for a while Seth Rollins just being Roman Reigns bait, or I shouldn't say bait. That's not really the right word to use to describe it, but he was more so Roman Reigns, his sidekick, it seemed like. But it just didn't make sense. Like, would you really want to forgive someone after betraying you from one of the biggest factions you guys were, how close of brothers you guys were, just like that? It didn't quite make sense to me. But that's the only gripe I would say so far about Seth Rollins' babyface turn is that. I'll come back to the live chat and I'll do these last set of questions, which these last 5 questions I had or submitted was from someone else I've done a live stream with before on my friend Daniel Guys' channel. I've checked his video, so he does great content as well. All these guys, by the way, who I've asked questions, who I've answered questions about, they all produce great content on YouTube, so make sure to check out their channels as well. Nerd Coalition asks me, with the amount of talent going to WWE, it seems, do you think NXT should extend its show to 90 minutes? I would say if you had former NXT talent there up on the main roster now and the talent now, I'd say yes. But right now, with them being in the rebuilding phase, I'd say no. But either way, unless if they get a lot of good, more like established talent on NXT, I still think an hour is enough, because at takeovers, longer than an hour feels special because of how good they have their content in an hour. Not like Raw, which is 3 hours, and they're inconsistent. Here's the thing about Raw, as I've said plenty of times as well. Raw does too much of one feud in 1 week, leaving it to drag out the following weeks. Like, not as good content. It feels like SmackDown at 2 hours and they don't do everything for a feud each week, then it feels special. Where like SmackDown, NXT, and more does things like, oh, this is what happened last week with this person, just recap what happened last week. But coming up next week, we'll hear about this. It leaves you wanting to see more for what's to happen next week. It's that hook. You know what I mean? Again, I took a directing class in college. It's simple, storytelling right there. So I would say, again, if NXT had more established talent, I'd say yes to 90 minutes. But as of now, I'd say keep it at an hour. Number 2, are you a fan of wrestling games? And if so, do you prefer arcade style or simulated like the 2K series? Again, like I said earlier, I don't own really own any wrestling games. The stuff I've played in the past has more so been like 2K style. I've never really played any arcade style, so I would definitely probably say stick with the 2K series for my personal preference. Number 3, what other things are you into, such as movies, sports, games, etc.? As I said earlier, kind of answers my question from earlier. I'm into baseball. I'll play, my PS2 here and there. I'll play like other game consoles at friends' houses. Any of my friends' houses, I can't talk today. I'm sorry. But again, I mostly still play a lot of like old style PC games. I play a lot of like Wolfenstein mods, baseball video games. Like if I come across an old game that I played like years ago, that's still like, and not like I get like childish games or anything like that, but like a good like solid game that I used to play growing up, like in my teens and such. I'll play that. Again, I'm more into like comedies, and I spend a lot of time with friends. And again, I'm a real life videographer, so I mean that's stuff I am into. He says, do you think the WWE is killing the indie scene? I don't watch too much wrestling outside of WWE, but from stories I see, I think, the WWE is like the big leagues. It's like the biggest thing to get to, even though some people like, Cody Rhodes, Alberto Del Rio, or Alberto El Patron, as he's called now, Ryback, a couple other people have like been to WWE, but they've gone somewhere else on the indie scenes, or Ring of Honor, or New Japan Pro Wrestling, or anything like that. Some people, it just depends on where it works out better for them. So I would say I don't really think it's killing the indie scenes, because I believe people have gone to wherever makes them happy. So I would say not really at times. People just go to WWE whenever they're ready to go there, where they want to treat the indies as a platform to get to WWE, or just treat it as a, like they're happy where they're at. Like as I said also in my book review of Daniel Bryan's probable journey to WrestleMania, and even when I watched his documentary, which I actually have right here. And again, for those of you who have not seen it, this is why I got Daniel Bryan to sign whenever I met him back in January of 2016. But for a time, he wasn't really interested in going to WWE. He was happy with being on the indies and such, wrestling in Japan and England and Ring of Honor. So again, I just say it just depends on who the wrestler is. I don't really think WWE's killing the indie scenes, because some people have gone to WWE and they've hated it, and they've gone back to the indie scenes and they were happier there. So I would say probably not. And Nerd Coalition's last question was, do you prefer MLB The Show, or would you like baseball games to go back to 2K? Most of the, again, I have my PS2. Most of the games, MLB games I played on my PS2, and like any other gaming consoles I played with my other friends, have been The Show. So I would say I would prefer The Show. I have one 2K game. I just didn't really like it as much as The Show, in my opinion, honestly. So I mean, I would have to. The one I have, they didn't have. I mean, it might be different on higher up gaming systems than what I have, but just for what I've been stuck with, I liked MLB The Show a lot better. So thank you for your questions. Nerd Coalition. Oh, you actually got into the comment section as well. Thank you for answering questions. Great video. Thank you very much, NC. Let's go to the live chat again. I am NC, what we got here. Because that's all for the pre posted questions I had. Nice to meet. Where was I at? Okay. D Pro X 3276 says I've only met Cesaro. That'd be another good talent to me. I'm a huge fan of Cesaro. Definitely one of the most underutilized talent. He's somebody who I think should be in the main event scene. Not still in the mid card tag team division. He needs a main event push. Do you think Billy Kay and Peyton Royce will win the NXT Women's Championship and split it like Lay Cole did back in 2010? I think that's possible. I could see that possibly happening. It could be the NXT title. I mean, maybe if they ever get to the main roster, maybe the women's title as well. I think that's highly possible. Yes. He also says, I would hate if they did that again, Robbie, LOL, but it would be cool. I heard that 2K Showcase is coming back, ambulance match, and a draft. Mod and 2K18, those that mean GM mode, sure. It's a rumor, by the way, that Jack versus Bate match for the UK title on NXT OMFG, great match, to be honest. I actually have not yet watched this past episode of NXT. I'll probably watch it either today or tomorrow. Again, I just had a really busy week for work. I just had a lot of things to figure out. A little stressful, but I got through it. I'm fine. And then NC says, thanks for answering my questions again. Great video. Sure thing. Thank you for tuning in and posting your questions as well. And for support the channel. DProX3276 says, to be honest, AJ is my second and CM Punk is my third and Daniel Bryan is my fourth. Oh, yes. CM Punk. I got to see CM Punk's final match in WWE at the Royal Rumble 2014 live. Because, again, it took place in my hometown. That was very cool. Got to see that, and again, I can never stop watching his podcast. If I'm bored and have nothing to do, yes, I would love to. I just honestly watch CM Punk's podcast of why he left WWE constantly. DProX3276 also asks, are you a Roman hater? Again, I do not hate Roman Reigns. I want to cheer for Roman Reigns. I just hate the way he's booked. As a wrestler, I think he's a phenomenal talent. Well, I would say phenomenal because AJ Styles. He's a great talent. But I just want to see him book better. Turn him heel could help better. But again, I respect Roman. Again, he was in my top my number 5 for my top 5 were wrestlers I would like to meet. I have his T-shirt too. I haven't really worn it as much since they kind of hurt his character a little bit. But again, I am not a Roman hater. NC asks if you have to have a dream Survivor Series match with past wrestlers, death or present, who would it be? That would be a really good question. Let me think about this one. Maybe how about this? How about Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and I don't know, Ultimate Warrior, and who's one more? CM Punk, what the heck? Against Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Brock Lesnar, Daniel Bryan, and Sting. How about that? It's a little odd of a match, but I mean, it'd probably be a match I would try to, think out a little bit more than just a spur of the moment. But like, I would like to see all 10 of those guys go at it, I'd say. Maybe mixed up here and there among those 10, but those would be 10 guys I wouldn't mind seeing in a ring together. Or maybe if you want to include the Shield somewhere, all 3 members of the Shield in there somehow, or any of like AJ Styles or Finn Balor and the Club teaming up, any of those guys. Anybody pretty much. Or Nakamura thrown in there. Bobby Roode. Glorious! Sorry, my voice kind of squealed there a little bit. Let me see here. What else we have here in the live chat? What's your least favorite wrestler right now? It would have to be R-Truth. I'm sorry, I cannot stand R-Truth. No offense. I bumped the button. Let me see here. Robbie says, Robbie's asking, do you think Pete Dunne will be the one to beat Tyler Bate for the UK title? Sure, actually, I wouldn't mind. I know they had their rivalry from the United Kingdom tournament, which was a really fun tournament to watch. I actually was wondering too. We read the rest of the comment section. I mean, the live chat first to see anything else. DProX says, "I do, Robbie." Robbie, one of my favorite lines from that one promo between Triple H and CM Punk right before their match at Night of Champions, even though CM Punk should have gone over. But I like, so you say you listen to this crowd, right? Then where, oh where, are my WWE ice cream bars? I love that line. Like, I wasn't even watching at the time. I went back and I saw that whenever I was I did go back in time. I know the writing in 2011, like in the fall, like some of the stuff didn't make sense, but I think because that was a time where CM Punk was at his hottest, I actually did go back and watch a lot of Raws around that time just to see, put more pieces together. CM is the BITW, as in my universe mode, he is my world champion. Awesome. Okay, at least you don't join the haters of Roman, because I'm not like Roman. Rest in peace, Kurt's team. Rob says, just make sure Mick Foley doesn't miss the table this time. I believe I can fly. Love that movie. Please check it out. NCS, who are some wrestlers that everyone likes, but you can't stand? Wrestlers that everyone else likes that I can't stand. Can't really think of too many that I really dislike. There's only just a few people that just when they walk on my TV, I'm just like, get off my TV. Like the Golden Truth. I mean, I like Goldust. I'm sorry, I just never am a big fan of R-Truth. Who else really? I mean, some of the not as high talented, not as high profile cruiserweights. Let me think. There really isn't too many that I can think that other people like that I really dislike. Well, Jinder Mahal, again, I'm trying to give Jinder Mahal a chance with his WWE title push. His contender choice, but I still not really a big fan of Jinder Mahal. The Miz, again, I grew to like Miz more as a character, but I still really am not that big of a fan of the Miz, like as a wrestler. I'm not sure. Really, not too many others. LOL. Mick, you jump off the Titantron onto the table. Oh my God, the God Almighty. This is Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque. Bold. Yes, Robbie, I love that when you said that. That was a very bold statement. Robbie, remember Punk going, "Whoops, I'm breaking the fourth wall." Yes, that whole, I mean, despite the results of the matches, and it just pretty much just leading to a match between Triple H and Kevin Nash. They probably should have had a match between CM Punk and Kevin Nash at the time. I didn't. I mean, I did like Punk's like sarcasm, just like just him like like just busting his pipe bombs. Just Punk walking around, always having that smart aleck look on his face at that time, just cutting all those promos and just nailing Triple H when he thought that Triple H was part of this conspiracy against him. What else is there? A couple more stuff from the live chat, and I gotta wrap up soon because I have other places to be. Where was I? Remember Punk? I think I got that. I wonder where my W ice cream bars are. Like if these old day guys get ice cream, so where are mine? Oh, the old day segment. New Day doing the ice cream. Okay, I mean they kind of slowed down that a little bit, but I mean, again, I found how the New Day were as WrestleMania hosts acceptable, but I think now they're going to be going to SmackDown Live, which I believe they're going to wait till Kofi's recover from his ankle injury before they debut on SmackDown Live. Now, I'm hoping they'll finally get them back into a direction. Robbie says, "Hey, Mike, remember last year's Rumble when Truth entered and brought out a ladder thinking it was the Money in the Bank match? Oh, that was when I was annoyed with Truth the most. Like, the most. Wow, the most. I could not stand that whole thing with R-Truth, like, misunderstanding all these things. I couldn't. That character annoyed, especially also at the Slammy Awards. Whenever first he announced that Paige won, but then it being Nikki Bella and that whole parody of whichever award show that was. It's been a while. I can't remember, but that was too because I felt that Paige should have won Women's Wrestler of the Year and not Nikki Bella. Again, I liked how I definitely have liked Nikki Bella a lot more since she came back from her neck injury and she's been on SmackDown Live. I definitely like that character a lot more. If she does come back, I wouldn't mind seeing her getting a SmackDown Women's title shot. I think now it'd be okay to give it to her. Again, I was a little worried at first when she was being on SmackDown. I think she might get in the way with all those the new talent they got on SmackDown Live, but she didn't really. I was happy with that. But again, I was just so pissed when R-Truth did that. But again, I'm sorry. I just cannot stand R-Truth. Couple more. D-Pro X says, "Whoops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. And now I'm going to expose the WW." Mic goes off. CM taps mic. "God damn it, Vince!" Show ends. Yes, definitely love that segment as well. And he also says R-Truth should have got an IC title at least. I would. He also says, "Remember when Truth faced Cena in the main event of a pay-per-view? Remember when R-Truth was tag champ and hardcore champ and also TNA champ?" Nope, not really. Well, okay, yes, he was tag champs. He got a push at times, but especially, and I mean, even though the booking didn't really end up as good for whenever he was Austin Truth, I still was okay with him getting a push at that time. Like they actually gave him a heel push. I mean, heck, if they turned R-Truth heel and tried doing that again with the better results, it's different. I wouldn't mind giving it a chance, but just right now, I just cannot get behind R-Truth really that much. Actually, before we get off, I'll go through the roster and just the main roster and just see if there's anybody else who I can't think off the top of my head that I really cannot stand. Like, but right now, my least favorite is still definitely R-Truth. Let me go. What the heck? Advertisements. Oh, there's Braun on the advertisement part for Payback. I'm not gonna watch all that right now. Let me see here. On the main roster, let me see here. Something I cannot stand. Aiden English. I don't hate Aiden English, but it's like, what are they doing with him? I wonder if he's gonna be out the door soon now that Simon Gotch is gone. I was a fan of the Vaudevillains, but now like they're just flat. Alicia Fox. Why is Alicia Fox still around? No offense. She not really a wrestler. She's just becoming that woman that all these young cruiserweights are fighting over. First it was Cedric Alexander, then it was Noam Dar. Alicia Fox. Oh gosh, that was just all annoying. That was stupid because Vince just thought it sounded like I don't really like to swear over the internet, but excuse my language. But it sounded like Alicia Fox. Very stupid toilet humor. Yeah, like Arya Daivari, don't really care too much for him. Scroll through. Who else? Someone I'm not really too big on. We see here, not really fun. Too many people that Kurt Hawkins, what is he doing? What is he doing on back? Like, what was the point of him coming back? Really haven't done much with him. He just loses. Let me see here. Dana Brooke on the borderline. I don't hate her, but I just think she was someone who was brought up from NXT a little too soon. Oh, David Otunga. How could I forget about David Otunga? Apparently, he's going to be on Raw commentary when he gets back from his movie, but I'm sorry, I cannot stand David Otunga. His commentary is awful. He's just that guy who just sits there. He's like a third wheel. He just sits there and just says, "Yep, that's cool. Yep, that's awesome." Like, he doesn't really talk. Why is he still on commentary? I'm sorry. I cannot stand David Otunga. Let me see here. Who else that I really cannot stand? Going through, blah, blah, blah. James Ellsworth. I mean, now they're keeping him around to pretty much be beat by women, but I think his purpose was just being, the person Dean helped manipulate AJ Styles with. JBL, I don't want to even go there. I've not been happy with JBL ever since the whole incident with Mauro Ranallo. I'm not going to go there or talk about Jinder Mahal. Let me see. Is there really anybody else who I really cannot stand? To answer your question from earlier, NC. Well, of course, Vince McMahon. Like, no offense, like, how he's been a little out of touch. Let me see here. Who else? I don't really see anybody else I am that I really cannot stand. That should be it. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. Let me see. Back in the comment section, Robbie says, "Hey Mike, if I added another horsewoman, who would you prefer, Nikki Bella, Carmella, or Natty?" Good question. Not sure which three I would prefer out of those ones. I mean, I would take any one of them, honestly. Maybe Carmella. That way we can maybe have connections with Enzo and Big Cass. How about that? Let's go with Carmella for that one. Robbie says, "No one breaks up with me, Cedric." Yes, love that. D Pro X says, "I like Noam Dar so much because he's Scottish. I'm Scottish. Oh wait, I'm not Scottish. Speak English. Oh no, I ruined my lines up. God damn it. I like him because I'm from Scotland. That's much better." That's fine. I mean, I'm willing to give talent a chance if they give them a reasonable push. And just Noam Dar is someone I really haven't really gone behind too far yet. But if they push him and become a credible champion someday, maybe I'll be fine with that. All right. Well, I think I'm just going to wrap it up there for now. So yeah. So again, thank you everybody. I know this ended up going a little longer than I expected. Thank you for tuning in on the for my 500 subscribers Q&A. I thank everybody who again has supported my channel. I've been on YouTube for 5 years now. Again, just pretty much doing whatever I want to do, just having fun, you know, connecting with people. And again, I only did this Q&A just for this occasion, but you know, I think it's pretty fun. I might do another one, maybe when I get to 1,000 subscribers, or maybe sooner than that. We'll see what happens. So again, thank you to everybody who submitted all their questions. Thanks again for everybody who participated in the live chat as well. I was surprised at how much I got in there as well. And with that said, I will be signing out now. For more content to come on this channel, probably sometime next week I'll do my Extreme Rules predicted match card for W Extreme Rules, since that'll be the next Raw exclusive pay-per-view after Payback. I have one more level left to do for my next 10 set of levels for All This and Wolf 3. I mean, All This and Wolf 3. I'll probably upload those either tomorrow, if not early this coming week. But again, thank you all for participating in this Q&A. And yeah, with that, guys, I will sign out. Again, thank you all for tuning in, and just stay tuned for more content on the channel. Please click this like video and subscribe to my channel. I believe as of now I am up to 542 subscribers. Sweet. But again, if you want to, again, this is a channel that, you know, I don't ask for. Like, hey, come watch me, all this stuff. Like, if I don't get that much attention, that's fine. It's like what I do. But you know, I'm just happy with the success I've had here on YouTube. With just, you know, just be myself, just chilling, just having fun. And that's all I want to do, continue to have with YouTube. So again, thank you all to everybody who tuned in to this video. I said for 50,000 times, and yes. And yeah, with that, I am signing out. I will see you all later in my next video, wherever it is. Until then, guys, take care and have a great weekend.